Welcome to AM Daily Crypto. As always, we are your hosts, Crypto Lissa and Xander Coin Miner. Before we get started, as always, this is not financial advice, solely our opinions, and please do your own research before jumping into any cryptocurrency. If you like our content, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Also, you can see links in the description below for our Discord, Twitter, and Cointree. We strive to be the people's channel. If you want us to cover something, link up in our Discord or leave a comment below. And with all of that said, let's get started with today's episode. As you can see behind us, we have a brand new NFT, and this is Degen Smokers. Degen Smoker is a very well-liked person in the Ravencoin community. And guess what? There are still Degen Smokers up for sale on Just NFTs. And you can check him out. We will link his Twitter in the description below. And with that, we are going to cover some of today's news, as you can see right here. So Xander, take it away.
Yo, how's everybody doing? Yeah, Xander here. I got an interesting article that I ran into today. It has to do with the U.S. Justice Department here in the United States. It doesn't really pertain to other countries, but to those that may or may not be affected by it. Um, this is for you here in the United States. Courtesy of Crypto Potato. They have some interesting articles here all the time, and this one actually was released today on the 17th. I'm going to start reading the headline here. U.S. Justice Department names head of a newly formed crypto enforcement team. Wow, all of a sudden. And it says the newly appointed chief says the team will target both the exchanges and mixers related to illicit, quote unquote, illicit finance in crypto. The Justice Department recently appointed cybersecurity prosecutor Eun Young Choi to lead the newly formed National Cryptocurrency and Enforcement Team aimed at cracking down on digital currency schemes involved in illicit finance. It specifically targets both cyber criminals in nation states, including Iran and North Korea, and domestically, I'm sure. They just don't say. That's just what I think. It says here, the Deputy Attorney General, Lisa Monaco, announced that the new appointment in an interview with Bloomberg on Thursday. They also spoke with Choi and said the team would be sure to target both crypto exchanges and mixing services, DEXs. Mixers are tools that clear cryptocurrencies of their on-chain money trail. A quality contrary to popular belief can make them a poor tool for money laundering. We're going to make it our business to go after them, get those proceeds back, and make it clear to them they can't hide, Monaco said of criminals using cryptocurrencies. Well, they need to really think about that when they talk about fiat. Despite their traceability, cryptocurrencies can prove effective for financial crimes that are normally prevented through third-party intermediaries. One increasingly popular use case is ransomware attacks, which accounted for over $600 million US worth of Bitcoin payments last year. Since Bitcoin transactions are peer-to-peer and irreversible, victims are left with nobody to help them if their funds are stolen. If you would be ransoming any cryptocurrency, Bitcoin is definitely not the one if you want to be anonymous, that's for sure. That's why that doesn't make sense. Anyway, the Justice Department's new team, which is part of a criminal division, will consist of over a dozen criminal prosecutors. Okay. It has plans to add more. We are trying to centralize, so that we're a one-stop shop of all subject matter experts within the department, said Choi. That task force was originally created in October, I'm guessing 2021, with the ultimate goal of ensuring investor confidence when using crypto exchanges. Okay. Choi did not single out any targeted exchanges by name. It could be all of them for all we know. Um, how much can the authorities do? In other words, what is this task force and what can it do? The exchanges have a primary target for financial regulators worldwide seeking to control the cryptocurrency space. These are easily located, governable financial touch points that are highly popular for converting crypto into fiat, on ramps or on ramps. For example, Canada's government recently announced that crypto platforms and crowdsourcing sites are prohibited from facilitating donations to a regional protest movement. So far, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police are have ordered the blacklisting of 34 crypto addresses involved with the movement. How the hell would they know who has what? However, such measures don't account for peer to peer trading of Bitcoin, nor conversions to direct cash. They also do not address the increasing popularity of fiat pegged stablecoins, which allow for long distance and direct exchange of dollar derivatives. The latter has become a troublesome regulatory matter for certain U.S. politicians concerned about money laundering and consumer protection. Wow. Some U.S. politicians are concerned about money laundering. Oh, yeah. Shouldn't we all be worried about that? Anyway, that's the end of this article. Um, Basically, the U.S. Justice Department names head of a newly formed crypto enforcement team. And that person is L. Young Choi. And the group is called the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team, and this is based in the United States of America. And that's all I got for this. Thank you.
So the next article is written by Dimitar Zanzarov, and this is something that I had posted a short video about on our Twitter at AMDailyCrypto, and it was talking about the Olympics and how I thought that Bitcoin was going to take a run and then dump once the Olympic Games were over, because China wanted the digital uh, yuan to be used while people were there for the Olympic Games. And just what I thought, this is this next article titled Over $300,000 worth of digital yuan used daily at the Olympics. Everyday transactions with China's digital currency during the Beijing Olympic Games account for around 2 million yuan, approximately $315,000 USD. A top official at the nation's central bank said he further revealed that foreign users employ hardware wallets when dealing with the product, while locals prefer software wallets. China's name pops up somewhat immediately when speaking of a central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs as we all know them. Over the past several months, the most populated nation launched many initiatives to popularize its digital yuan, among the broader society. In April 2021, the authorities announced that athletes and foreign visitors at the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics will be able to employ the financial product. The sports event started earlier this month, and the officials already have data regarding the daily digital yuan transactions. According to Mu Chingcheng, Director General of the PBOC's Digital Currency Research Institute, over $300,000 worth of CNY is used every day during the games. However, he specified that it is difficult to provide exact numbers. Quote, I have a rough idea that several or a couple of million RMB or yuan of payments every day, but I don't have exact numbers yet. Mu also said that the CBDC is popular among foreign visitors too. They prefer using hardware wallets, while Chinese residents favor the software wallets. It is worth noting that the ECNY usage during the Olympics caused tension between China and the USA. Last year, the American Senators Marsha Blackburn, Roger Wicker, and Cynthia Loomis advised the U.S. Olympic Committee to forbid any usage of the yuan at the Winter Olympic Games. The lawmakers expressed concerns over spying and espionage. Shortly after, the Chinese Foreign Ministry stroke back, requesting that Americans abide by the spirit and not make trouble out of the financial product. The officials went further, stating that the U.S. is unaware of what digital currency is exactly. What? We know what digital currency is. That makes no sense. A few months ago, one of the leading Chinese e-commerce platforms, JD, enabled customers to use the ECNY for settlements during the shopping festival's Singles Day. As such, it became the first company to accept the product as a means of payment. Singles Day is an unofficial holiday that celebrates people who are not in relationships. It is held on November 11th. The 4 ones on the date 11/11 refer to those who don't have love partners. Paradoxically, it has emerged as one of the largest shopping festivals in the country. JD disclosed that more than 100,000 customers used the CBDC during this event. And that one comment that we don't know what digital currency is and it can be used as espionage, it sounds like they don't know what they're talking about. So yeah, I don't know, it doesn't feel right to me. But moving on to this next article.
Well, that's my turn. Well, let's see here. I found this other one as well. This other article on the same site, Crypto Potato, in relation to the financial stability board. Um, this is an interesting article. I'll go over it really quickly. It's basically talking about uncontrolled investments in crypto could affect the global financial stability, says the Financial Stability Board warned. Well, of course it's going to destate, it's the brick and mortar, the legacy, cryptos, yeah, I'll move. Crypto investments help the ecosystem grow, but the FSB sounds like a black ops government agency, but okay. Believes in an uncontrolled appetite for the technologies could have serious implications. Well, not for us, but maybe for them. According to the Financial Stability Board, The growing appetite of large institutions and VC or venture capitalist firms for cryptocurrency exposure could prove counterproductive not only for said financial giants, but for the entire world. Who cares about them? The watch the watchdog called for exercising greater control over operations that involve significant money investments to avoid a potential financial crisis on a global scale. I'm sure there's some of you in the audience that remember 2008. I do. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that wasn't the people's fault. I mean, it wasn't our fault that we had that crisis. But, anyways, moving on. The global financial stability could be at risk. They've been saying that for 20 years or more. In a report published on Wednesday, February 16, 2021, the FSB explained that essential precautions should be taken to ensure the stability of international financial system in the face of risk of massive investments in fast-growing technologies with great guarantee of long-term success. I don't understand what I just read because that does, such as cryptocurrencies. In other words, what they're saying is they're scared of crypto and us using it. If financial institutions continue to become more involved in crypto asset markets, this could affect their balance sheets and liquidity in unexpected ways. Yeah, because we don't have an unlimited supply of dollars and fiat, of course. If the current trajectory of growth and scale and interconnectedness of crypto assets to these institutions were to continue, this could have implications for global financial stability. Sounds like they're scared of me. But that's the FSB notes that despite the accelerated growth of cryptocurrencies, they do not actually account for a specific portion of the money being moved in traditional finance markets. Obviously, because we don't have an unlimited supply of everything. However, they recognize that the growth rate that has been seen so far persists. There could be major shift in conventional financial system, of course. It's the revolution, which would in turn have severe implications for the global financial stability. In other words, the IMF and everybody else is all freaking out. Contrary to what many might point out, the FSB mentions that the industry is full of players who don't really understand how cryptocurrencies work. Well, yes, in a sense. And points to the increase in money laundering, ransomware, and cybercrime as concerns. That's why we stress do your own research. Don't just ape into shit without looking it up. But in general terms, the report focuses on other risks and vulnerabilities more related to the market aspect, such as liquidity mismatch, unbacked stablecoins. Ooh, now we're going somewhere. Increased use of leverage. Oh, come on. The opacity of regulatory oversight. Well, and it says here also that the FSB will not or won't stop monitoring the crypto industry. The FSB is an international organization that was created in 2009. Whoa, what a coincidence. As the successor to the Financial Stability Forum. It was created by the G7. Oh, what do you know? It's not just the United States. To coordinate policies between finance ministries and central banks of the world's major economies. It is currently a multilateral institution made up of 24 countries. Okay, now we're getting somewhere, and this has to do with more than just us. us in the United States. This has to do with a lot more. I'm assuming Europe, maybe some Far East. Anyway, it says here that 24 countries are involved and other multilateral organizations. The Bank for International Settlements, the European Central Bank, there you go, Europe, the European Commission, there you go, the International Monetary Fund, what do you know, and the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, and the World Bank. Can't forget the World Bank. The FSB says it will continue to monitor the development of the crypto ecosystem globally, sharing information and ideas with other regulatory bodies to channel the industry's growth in a healthy way. Well, then, that makes total sense. Among the issues it considers a priority, it said it will be looking at the implications of adoption of Bitcoin and Ether as non fiat based means of exchange, as well as the so called global stablecoin arrangements, which it has been monitoring since 2020. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that should tell you that these people in these organizations are freaking out and they're afraid of the adoption of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies out there. That the implications that tells you that says a lot right there. Anyway, that's it for this. The FSB, Financial Stability Board. And it has to do with 24 countries. So we'll provide all the links to these in the video description below so you guys can look it up for yourselves.
Awesome. So I also have an announcement. Joe Biden is going to announce some crypto regulations in the coming weeks. And so just be on the lookout, do your own research, like we always say, not financial advice, but really watch the market over the next couple of weeks as that regulation starts to come through for sure. So our next article here is by Andrew Thorobalas, and it's titled Chainlink to Drive Mainstream Adoption of Blockchain Tech, according to Bank of America. Chainlink, a blockchain Oracle service provider, now has over 60 billion deposited into smart contracts. A recent analysis from Bank of America claims that the network will drive blockchain adoption across the gaming, gambling, and insurance industries, among others. According to a research report released on Wednesday, the firm believes Chainlink is currently a likely driver behind growing total value locked in decentralization finance, or, as we all know, DeFi. According to DeFi Llama, there is now over $205 billion locked in DeFi, up over 300% year over year. That is a crazy number. DeFi refers to the provision of financial services such as insurance, borrowing, and lending through blockchain-based smart contract systems rather than through traditional centralized systems like banks. Ethereum, upon which Chainlink is built, because Chainlink is a layer 2 to Ethereum, if we all did not know that, is currently the leading blockchain for DeFi, holding 121 billion TVL. Chainlink is what's known as Blockchain Oracle, a device that connects on-chain and off-chain data. This allows smart contracts to execute based on inputs from the real world rather than just blockchain native variables. Its growth is exponential last year, scaling up from just 7 billion in TVL at the end of 2020. The The report credits, quote, ability for hybrid smart contracts or self-executing and tamper-proof digital agreements to verifiably and securely access real-world data through Oracle nodes like market prices, time of day, weather, and GPS location, end quote, for DeFi's recent growth. The analysis also states that Oracle's, quote, enable the next generation of blockchain use cases, end quote, and could, quote, disrupt major industries, end quote. We'll see. Major companies, including the Associated Press and AccuWeather, are now using Chainlink, monetizing their data by providing it to smart contract developers. Over 1,100 projects are live on the network. The blockchain's native token Link is now the 22nd most valuable cryptocurrency market cap, totaling over 7.5 billion. In September, the network partnered with, as we all know, Cardano to integrate Oracle data into the latter's smart contracts. Despite the conflict that banks and crypto are often presumed to have, Bank of America has been remarkably bullish on the space. In October, a report, the institution noted that crypto was now, quote, too large to ignore. This was a sharp change of attitude from its previous stance in March of 2021, where it deemed Bitcoin, quote, too volatile, end quote, and impractical as a store of value. Now they're backing that statement off. However, the institution appears more interested in the broader crypto ecosystem and blockchain technology as a whole. Quote, Bitcoin is important, but the digital asset ecosystem is so much more, end quote, reads its October statement. So, yeah, Bank of America is now starting in on this, just like Visa and MasterCard did. And that is the end of our articles that we're going to read today and the end of our show. If you have any more comments, Xander?
Yeah. As we know in these articles, the thing that keeps coming up is the banks, the regulatory bodies, the FUD being spread around. Oh, implications here, implications there, but in reality, it's not really hurting the average person. It's hurting the institutions, and that's what it is. I mean, but the reason why I say that is because it's not our actions as individuals in society or within society that are causing things like the financial crisis we had in 2008. That wasn't the banks of being too big to fail and all that kind of stuff that was happening back then. That wasn't us. I mean, that's one thing I see with a lot of this stuff is getting missed. Is there's so much FUD being fed, but at the same time, these same institutions, you know, were saying, "Oh, crypto is bad. It's only for criminals," and blah blah blah. And all of a sudden, everybody's 180. Everybody's trying to open spot ETFs, and they want to offer derivatives and all this kind of stuff. Oh yeah, yeah, that's how they get in early. Just like the .com boom and all that stuff. It was they spread the FUD, buy in, and then by the time the retail investor shows up, it's already up there. So, but the good thing is in the crypto community, it's growing by the day, and people are getting smart. They're not believing the FUD, and it's unfortunate what's going on in Canada. So, I mean, with the government there, Coffee's, trying to take away Bitcoin from people, but they can't do that obviously by code. They, you don't. It's not a CBDC, so you can't retract it or pull it. I mean, And the digital yuan in China, see, they've already got that implemented. So, I mean, we got to be careful when that happens here in the United States. They're already talking about it. There's already been talks with Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve. They're talking about opening individual bank accounts for people at the Federal Reserve and using a CBDC, for the method of payment in the country. But that'll be another talk for another day, another episode. We'll talk more about the CBDCs.
Yes, thank you for that. And like I said at the beginning of this episode, you can see behind us the Degen Smokers. Every episode, we will have a new NFT. Um, Let me exit this out and we can go full screen for this. So, like I said, as you can see behind us, Degen Smokers, really predominant in the Ravencoin community. Every episode, we will have a new NFT. If you would like your NFT as our backdrop, just DM us on Twitter at CryptoLissa, at Xander Coin Mining. And you can get a hold of us there. Our links will be there. Degen Smokers links will be there. You can get these at Just NFTs. They are still live and going. So he just ended that series, and there are extras out there for sale. Get them before they are gone, because he is a very popular artist in the community. Like I said, all links will be in the description below for our Discord, our Twitter, Degen Smokers Twitter, and our coin tree. As always, if you like our content, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. We appreciate any, if you want to donate to us. And obviously, thank you for listening and watching our content. And you can always reach us on Twitter, Discord, like we said in the intro. And we will always say we are the People's Channel. So if you want us to talk about something, please DM us. And as always, in code we trust, and have a good night, guys.